Okay, this video is for the fucking boss man. You said that based on your schedule, it's very constricted in the sense that you're waking up before 6 a.m. to get on a bus to school. At school, you have to go up to the rooftop in order to do some training, and that you can sneak away during your break, or you can sneak away during, maybe you get some time during lunch. And then when you're at home, you're not allowed to play ball in the house. And by the time you're home and getting done with your stuff, having dinner, whatever, there's not that much time to squeeze in some soccer training. So there are some things that I want to suggest that you can start to implement that I think might help you think about what some training would look like in the house and outside the house. The first thing that I want to recommend is watching the TED Talk. It's called How to Breathe by Dr. Belisa Vranich, V-R-A-N-I-C-H. That's Belisa, B-E-L-I, I think S-S-A or S-A. And she teaches you how to go from a horizontal breather, which is supposedly the wrong way to breathe, into a vertical breather, which is the wrong way to breathe, and she teaches you how to be a horizontal breather, which is supposedly the right way to breathe. And the reason why, horizontal breathing is superior, supposedly, is that it massages your internal organs. All animals in the animal kingdom are belly breathers. All babies when they're born are belly breathers, and for whatever reason, humans naturally unlearn their breathing over time. But this is one thing that, it's, I believe, one of the most underrated things most soccer players aren't learning and doing, and that could really change your life. So this is one thing that requires no tools and no investment. Just check out the video, and I think that'll change your life, being able to practice that skill. The second thing, if you can do some chores or earn some cash in some way, maybe get a side job or side hustle, whatever, this Bass Rutten O2 trainer, it not only strengthens your core, it can cure asthma, clinically proven to cure asthma. It's super lightweight, it's portable, and it strengthens your breathing muscles. They say two players who have equal skill, the one with better breathing will win every time. And this is something that I personally have been doing every day for 3 minutes. You're supposed to do 30 repetitions, and this is something that ties in right after you learn how to breathe properly. This will tie in with that and strengthen your breathing muscles. And there's different settings. I think it's not the cheapest one. I want to say it goes for about $60. I'm a bit biased towards it because I listened to the inventor talk about it, and it's the first one I tried and I found benefits with it. So I highly recommend this one. Right, this is a game changer for me personally. That's number two. The third thing that you want to do, right? So when you're doing soccer training, you kind of have three options, right? You have dribbling, you have striking the ball, and you have juggling, which are kind of the same, kind of. The thing I think that's the most transferable that you could work on most of the time, that I'd work on when you have time to yourself, is juggling. And it's because if you can bring a tennis ball just in your pocket, in your backpack, then you can make everywhere on earth a place where you can practice, right? So a tennis ball is lightweight, it's portable. If you find yourself a tennis ball, you could bring it everywhere you go. On the rooftop, you sneak away for lunch. I think practicing juggling, it may be very hard at the beginning to keep a tennis ball up with your feet, but even if you have to use a bounce and to pop the ball up, right foot, left foot, I think you should start learning how to juggle a tennis ball, because it's going to improve your precision on the field, improve your first touch, and help you be more dangerous. Right? Sharpen your touch, you'll be more dangerous on the field. So that's the third suggestion. Carry a tennis ball everywhere you go. Another thing that you want to consider, if your parents don't want you to break anything in the house, is a skills kick trainer. And this is just a ball and a rope, right? SKLZ, it's a skills solo kick trainer. You can get on Amazon, it's $24. And the beauty of it is that it's super it's lightweight, it's portable, and I think they'll be open to this because it's not gonna break anything in the house, no valuables or decorations, and it's controlled, right? If they see you calmly, casually kicking this thing around, I don't think they would discourage it. I think they'd encourage it, and you could say that it helps you sleep right after you have a meal. They say a man who takes 100 steps after he eats lives to 100. So you could argue, say, Mom, I want to do this after dinner because it helps me sleep better. It's good for your metabolism. It prevents diabetes. You could argue that, it'll help me get into a college of my choosing, or because it's just going to encourage a whole host of different things. It's going to lower your blood pressure. It's going to improve circulation. And that's true for exercise, right? Exercise has the power to prevent disease and heart trouble. So those are valid points. And since it's very controlled, it's not really bothering anyone. And this is something that you could do inside your room. And that leads me to my next point. So you said that when you're in your room, you can't really do much ball work. So I have laid out on the ground multiple tools, right? A lot of tools, but the most powerful out of all of these, I believe, is this rope. And this is an RMT rope. I might have mentioned it in another video. You can make this yourself, right? You don't need to buy it. This cost me less than $5 to make, I believe. And you want the rope's length to be longer than you are tall. So I'm about 5'10" on a good day. And this rope is, right? This rope is maybe 6.5 feet. So the beauty of this rope is its simplicity, because when you swing it around, it acts as a metronome. A metronome is something that keeps a rhythm. So you're keeping a natural rhythm with your hands and your whole body. And why this is important is because not only is there a rhythm to life, there's a rhythm to the game, but the body's connected from fingertips to finger toes. So what you're doing is synchronizing your movement, right? You're becoming more in sync with yourself. It's like, you ever see a baby giraffe who hasn't learned to walk yet? This is going to cure. This is if someone's got poor balance on the field, or they seem very like they don't know where their body is. They don't know where their body is. This will improve your balance, your timing, your rhythm, your ball striking, and even in a tight area, right? Even in a tight area, you can practice your moving, and it's right smooth. You're getting into your breathing. You could listen to some music in your headphones, and look, I'm just moving. So this thing is super powerful. This is one thing that I wish that I learned when I was 5 years old, 6 years old. This thing, I've noticed that my ball striking has improved, my juggling has improved, my awareness, breathing, and you could grab it right in both hands. There are different patterns you can learn, right? I like when I give people this rope in the beginning, first I just teach them, just swing it. Just get it swinging and start to appreciate the movement. And then you could start to do some switching of the hands. And then you could start to get the whole body twisting, bending, turning, right? Then you could start to get into lower positions, and it's not clipping the ground, right? So it's a versatile tool. It's great for warm-up. You could use it to cool down in between sets of training. And I'm telling you, man, this is where you want to be at. Be able to do this, right? Let's start getting your toolkit. Let's start improving your toolkit. And now you can start to do things when you're at home, when you're winding down before bed, or you just want to maybe you want to get moving and you want to do it in a way that's going to help your game. This is truly something powerful that'll change your life. I also have here, right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 different balance tools, but I don't say this because I say this because not only is balance super important, but the concept of balance, right? So any one of these things can help you grow. So I have a wobble board from Amazon Basics. I have what's called a slack block from slackbow.com. I have something called the Bob Calf Master, right? So what I want to share with you is this concept of balancing, right? They say, David Weck says, on a balance board of athletics, balance is king. So this is something that you can do in your room without bothering anyone. You could play music when you're doing it. You can also combine it with this rope, right? So now I'm standing on this wobble board. And now, right, now I'm getting the rope involved. Breathing. You're aware. You're relaxed. Right, so it's combining some of these tools together. So I have here a spiky mat, which is going to increase blood flow to your feet. I have here 2 golf balls that you just stand on underneath the balls of your feet, which can relieve tension, some knots in your feet after your training session, right? So there's a lot of things that you could start to do even in your room that are smarter in ways than just going to the gym and pounding away in some fashion. And so you could turn your room, so you could start to turn it into your restoration temple, or your meditation zone, right? Start developing a toolkit of things that are gonna relieve pain from your body and help you grow as a player, right? After a training session, some tools that can help you stretch. I got a lacrosse ball underneath one foot. I got a golf ball underneath the other toe, and you're just finding where the tension is, right? Just shop around. Where's the tension? Going in and out of high to low tension, and kind of feel where it starts to get sensitive, and you could start to work around different areas. I have a slanted pillow, and you could start to do some knee pulses, some ankle pulses. You could use it right as a standing if you have a desk at home or a countertop. You want to start playing with different surfaces, so you could start to just prevent injuries and rehab your body. Prehab, right? Do prehab, which is preventing injuries, right? Just different. Right, I have just an assortment of tools, but you start with the cheapest one. Find the cheapest, find out how much this Amazon Basics wobble board is, or a foam pad. Search cheap foam pad or balancing foam, and you could get one for $20, $25, even at your local, sporting goods store. I'm sure they have some type of balancing tool. So I would get at least one balance tool. I would invest in a rope. I would get 2 golf balls if you can, or a lacrosse ball is great for underneath the feet. You could rotate even hand grippers, right? Hand grip or something right? Body's connected from fingertips to finger toes, so the hands are super important for developing strength, right? Strength in the hands, and it kind of spreads through your whole body. And you could say, oh, well, how is grip strength important for a soccer player? Well, in some ways, very important, especially for goalkeepers and, for keeping opponents away, shielding opponents. And, the stronger your hands, you're going to prevent wrist, elbow, shoulder injuries. So, right, it's kind of all connected. Right here, I have what's called a power twister. My buddy Ty, _ Ty.fitness _ put me on. And you're bending it here, and you can start to get into some breathing, some balance. Right, so what you're saying is that since you're limited to training at school or in your room in certain ways, that you're limited, but you can use this limitation, right, in your home to you could do a lot. There's a lot you can do in a very tight area, and you could be feeling like the next time you step on the field, you could start feeling invincible. And that's just by going through rotations of different balance things, combining the rope, getting your arms up, getting your arms wide, getting your arms low. You could start to develop three different ball juggling, right? Right, 1 foot balance, right? Start to juggle 3 balls at one time. right? Just like that. And, you know, what I'm getting at is that it's not as limited as it may seem. You could do a lot in your room that's going to help your game. One more thing I want to touch on. You mentioned that during your training, you were talking about the intensity level of your training. I want you to consider focus less on the intensity and more on deep relaxation. So when you're getting when you're doing your juggling, when you're doing your warm up, I want you to start to get into a state of super relaxed. Get into your breathing, right? Learn that Dr. Vranich breathing. Start to get into your breathing and be very relaxed, right? Because if you could be very relaxed on the field, then you could go through a whole game, you know, in a state where even if you're very focused and even if you're playing hard, if you're super relaxed, then your mind is relaxed and you can last a whole game and, you know, step off the field and almost not feel like you've played a game at all, right? I want to challenge you to get into the state of just being super calm. And I think that's one thing that I wish someone suggested to me when I was younger, that I didn't have to go 100%, you know, the whole game, where I didn't have to I didn't have to exert extreme effort to get huge results. I could get huge results by being very relaxed, very calm, breathing. So out of all these tools, I believe the most powerful are, number one, the O2 trainer, right? You could bring this everywhere. You could do it on the bus. On the bus, you could do it, you know, you could do it anywhere. This is key. This O2 trainer is key. The second thing, super important, where's that rope? The rope's number 2. This is what I would get second. Third, I guess it'd be a tie between skills kick trainer. Actually, I'd probably get tennis ball first because it can encourage juggling, and I think juggling trumps the skills kick trainer, but this is a close second because of how versatile it is and how many touches you can get in a relaxed way. And I think people perceive, you know, if a ball's on a rope, then it can't go through a window or destroy china or destroy the house, furniture, things like that. In terms of balance tools, if I could only choose one, I would go with the cheapest thing you could find on Amazon,